everyone, thanks for listening to the Sergio Nazzaro podcast. I'm Sergio Nazzaro, the founder and CEO of, my life. I've grown up here in Colorado and I've decided to stay put as I continue to pursue being an entrepreneur and growing my business as a real estate agent. Prior to this, I graduated from the United States Air Force Academy and served my country for 11 years before becoming a CrossFit coach. I have a lovely wife, Lizzie, and we are in the process of growing our family and living here in the Swans Lake neighborhood. For the last 2 years, I've committed to documenting my process in both my personal and professional life as a means of journaling, and hopefully helping others along the way. So listen in as I share the next chapter of my story. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 8. Listen, I started recording this and I got like halfway through it before and I had to stop. And the reason I had to stop was I felt myself like faking my way through it. And I started to wonder, like, what the fuck am I doing, right? Like, I enjoy making podcasts. I enjoy putting things out. I enjoy, like, sharing information with everybody out there because I feel like I have a message and some lessons that have happened in my life that'll hopefully help 1-2 people, many people out there. But I was recording it, and I could hear myself in my head just, like, how fake it was. And I was like, nope. And I was, like, 12 minutes into this thing, and I just deleted it. And that was hard because I had put in the work and I had the intention of making it a good podcast. And then I got into the middle of it and I was like, no, enough. And so I wanted to start over. I wanted to start over with this episode 8, and I am excited to bring this to you guys. A lot has happened. I'm leaving for my honeymoon tomorrow with Lizzie. We're headed to Hawaii and we are really excited about it. And I always find it funny, like the days leading up to a vacation, you have like a billion things to do in life. And the laundry list is so long. You got to pack, you got to do work, you got to set things up. And for the last 5 or 6 hours today, I've been hyper-focused. I've gotten so much done in the last 6 hours, knowing that I'm going to be taking the next week off. And what I find funny about that is, why can't we do that all the time? Why can't we have that level of focused intent all the time? Why can't we modulate in and out of that really strong flow state, come back out, work really hard, come back out, instead of like messing around? And I just wonder what we are capable of when we can really just do focused, intentful work. And so that's why I wanted to start over too, is because the work that I was putting out wasn't intentful. Last week I had the opportunity to go out and speak at a real estate conference. Now, this is a conference that I attended 4 years ago when I first got into real estate. And it was something that one of my buddies from the Air Force Academy, Jacoby Kendrick, invited me to. We were at our 10-year Air Force Academy reunion, and he knew that I was getting into real estate, but he also must have seen something in my face that let him know I was struggling because he came over. He's like, I'm going to this event next week. This is my coach. You should come. And it's funny how when you trust somebody, you will follow them. And I did. And it changed my life. It helped me become a different person. It helped me become a better real estate agent. It helped me become where I'm at today. And so when I was invited back to speak, I wanted to make sure that my intent in doing so was to give back to those in the crowd, to give back to somebody who maybe was in a similar situation that I was. And so when I got up to speak, I got to share my story about the transition, out of the military, dealing with my PTSD, starting my own business, the internal conflicts, the external issues, and how I've been able to work through them, use them to flourish, and how the impact of having a coach, having multiple coaches, guide you through life is important. And my parents are always like, why do you have a coach? And what I came to realize is, like, you don't need a coach. You can get through this life without one. Plenty of people do it. However, a coach is giving you a map. Now, I feel like we don't know which direction we're going sometimes in life. We know where we want to go, but we may not know where we're at. Or we know where we're at, but we may not know where we want to go. And so we have these waypoints. And once we're able to identify where we are at, which is self-awareness, focus, just like the ability to understand ourselves, our truest self, and be honest with ourselves. Once we understand where we're at, and then we have an idea of where we want to go, a coach is there as guide rails. They get us there, right, along the way. They help us, stay within the path. They help us understand, hey, this is the direction we want to go. And oftentimes, where we thought we wanted to go was well below our potential, and the coach knew that they were taking us to a different spot. And so that's why I have multiple coaches. And I think the best teachers are the ones that show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. These coaches aren't telling me what to do on a regular basis. They're just helping me uncover my blind spots, ask questions. And so when I was there, that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to share my story. And I wanted to have conversations with, some of the people out there and listen to where they were at and just start to ask questions about what they wanted. I remember I got to sit down with this one guy, and we were talking, and he was obviously struggling a little bit with where he was at in his business. And we got to talking, and I could see that it was just a self-esteem issue. He didn't believe in himself. He didn't know who he was or what he wanted. And we all struggle with that. Hell, fuck it. I struggle with that a lot too. But when we got to talking, I just had him start answering a few questions. Why are you in real estate? And this goes for anything. Why are you doing what you're doing? And he would answer it to me. And then we inevitably landed on the question, what do you want in life? And he looked at me and he's like, well, I want my wife to be happy. I want my kids. I was like, dude, bro, nope, no. What do you want? Those are about your family. And those are great things to have. I want the same things. But what do you want? I need you to be selfish for just a moment. And he looked at me and he goes, I don't know what I want. And a lot of us are there. A lot of us don't know what we want. And when we don't know what we want, the life that we live isn't filled with intent or focus. When we know what we want and we have a dream and we're envisioning of where we want to go, of the life that we want to create, of the relationships we want to have, we can live a life that is filled with intent. We can live a day that has a purpose. And so I encouraged him. I was like, figure out what you want and be selfish. Because if you want to be selfless in life, you have to learn to be selfish. Just like if you want to truly love somebody else, you have to love yourself first. And as I was asking him these questions, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. And I got some confirmations while I was out there. I had multiple conversations with multiple different people in different areas of their life. And the confirmations I got were, you're a really strong speaker. You have a great stage presence. You are, they were thanking me for helping them navigate these conversations and the issues that they're having in their business. And I just have come to realize that that is one of my truest life's purpose. I am put on this earth to serve others. And I love real estate because I love helping people navigate the journey of buying a home. I love helping them write their next story. I love helping put together a plan that's for them. But my true life's calling is to serve something much larger. And what I love about it is I went into that event with the intent to help others. And I came out with one of the greatest gifts possible. That I am put on this earth to share my experiences, share my thoughts, share my frameworks, share my I don't want to say strategies, but share my schedule, share the things I've done in hopes of helping people on the other side of this lens. And I don't know quite what that looks like yet, but I do know that I'm excited about it. And so the thing I want to ask all of you, and this is something that I really just hope you guys spend some time with, is what do you want in your life? What do you want? And I talked about this last week when I recorded an episode from one of the messages I received on Instagram, but you just have to ask yourself. And I think when we have some clarity on what we want, and that creates the fuel to hustle, Like, you may not know what it looks like, you may not know where it's going to come from, but that should excite the fuck out of you, and that should light that fire in your gut. And the unknown is the fuel that drives the hustle engine. And I just think that if we can just really tap into whatever that is, like, we can truly be like fulfilled in life. That event 4 years ago changed the trajectory of my life. It allowed me to be in this space that allowed me to accelerate in life. And I never knew that I could keep giving, you know? It's just, it really is amazing. I used to be very strict with my schedule and my time. And I'm disciplined now, but not as strict. And the reason I share that with you is being strict doesn't allow for growth. Think of it as like a metal box. It's very, right? It has its dimensions. It's not going to bend. But when you can kind of be fluid and be disciplined in what you do, the container now takes a shape of being able to be malleable. And that's what I am now. So I used to be very strict in how I lived my life. Same thing every day. I would eat very similar things. I would work out no matter what, push my body because this is what I do. I'm strict. But now that I've realized it's discipline and promises to myself. And so one of the promises I made to myself is to relook at just kind of like my morning routine. And I'll throw it up here so you guys can see it. Guys and gals can see it. This was my old morning routine. And before that, or now, I've really started to explore that and see, well, what serves me? And one of the things that I've incorporated back into my life is there's a few things. Working out has always been a big thing, eating healthy, meditation, reading, and journaling. And the book that I'm reading right now, this is a long way to land this plane, is Ryan Holiday's new book called, I believe it's called Courage. I might have butchered the title, but there's a few things in there that really kind of hit me in this last week that I wanted to share with you. And the two is, one, that all growth is a leap in the dark, and it's into a hole that you don't know what's past the darkness. I came back from this event and I just shared with you what I want to be, what I want to do, my life's purpose. I'm looking into the hole, and that is scary because I don't know what's past that. I don't know the pain that's going to be in there. I don't know the hard work, the sweat, the tears, the time, the lessons, but I know it's right. I know it's right for me. And the other part in that book is that the fear you feel is a sign. I'm afraid to pursue this. Why? Couldn't tell you. I don't know why, but I know that is usually the universe being like, hey, what's up? This is your chance. Let's go. And it starts as like a tap, and then it's a knock, and then they're going to kick down the fucking door if you don't listen. And so before it gets to the universe kicking down the door, and that can be through your life falling apart, that could be through pain, usually it's through some sort of pain, I'm going to listen. I'm just going to take some first steps. I believe it's called Courage is Calling. I need to look up the book. It's driving me crazy. I want you guys to know what it is. It's Ryan Holiday. He wrote The Daily Stoic. He wrote, The Obstacles Away. Really great author. Courage is Calling. That is what it is. Nailed it. I would highly recommend checking it out. It's a phenomenal read so far. But I wanted to say that, the fear that we feel in life is a sign. And usually it's a good sign. So I encourage you. The one question that I want to ask this week and something I want you to marinate on is, what is your biggest fear? And where in that fear can you find your next opportunity? Thank you so much for listening to episode 8. I'm going to be in Hawaii next week, so next week's episode will be a little bit shorter because I'm going to be hanging 10 and doing my thing with lasagna. But if you guys have time, share this with somebody who you think might benefit from it. And if you like it, give me 5 stars. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. It means a lot. Enjoy your week, and I'll talk to you soon.